wow, a King Arthur movie that's actually worth watching. You gotta talk about that. King Arthur and the Legend of the Sword. The King Arthur Legend of the Sword is an upcoming fantasy movie that comes out 2 weeks from now, May 12th, directed by Richie, and is this movie good? Like I said, guys, holy shit. Surprisingly, this movie was actually really good and really interesting. I was like, a King Arthur movie, it's been done plenty of time. What made this any different? But that Richie flavor to it, and then you have King Arthur and Legend of the Sword that's actually really good and enjoyable. Well, great dialogue, great visuals, kinda. And then the characters themselves were actually really good and really brought to life, really modernized. That was just like, I feel like anybody who really doesn't know shit about King Arthur, who's seen the other King Arthur movie, was just like, it's just boring. I could go into this movie and be like, that's what I'm talking about. This is how it should be done. Good job, Guy Richie. Yeah, I'd like to just pose the cons why I believe that King Arthur and the Legend of the Sword, that comes out May 12th, 2 weeks from now. I suggest you go check it out when it comes out in theaters. It's a pretty good film. Here's why. Well, adding to the movie, like I said, guy who plays King Arthur, Charlie Hunnam. Loved him. This guy was a badass, smart ass, fly ass, every type of ass you can expect. He was that ass. It's good. I always had an answer and a solution to everybody. He was pretty much like Sherlock Holmes without being Sherlock Holmes. Guy Richie did that movie too. He was a good King Arthur. He had a lot of heart to him, a lot of smart ass to him, a lot of good epic moments to him. I was just like, that was good. I think a lot of people will like him. The opposite to him is Jude Law. He was awesome too. He was a good villain in this movie too. I was just like, him as a villain, every time he was on screen, he delivered dialogue, and he was just very intense moments. He did intense things. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but if you know the myth and the legend of King Arthur, then you know what those things are, but he did them pretty good. As a matter of fact, the whole cast in the movie was actually really good. There's really no weak links. Everybody in the movie gave it their all. They were really good, and they were really memorable. You're just going to walk out of the theater and be like, everybody held the actors. They were good. Plot in the movie, like I said, is, you know, the plot of this movie is the same as every other King Arthur movie. But let me explain it to you like this, with the Guy Richie flavor to it. And the movie opens up with a big action scene that makes you establish that, yeah, knights and mages, they were battling against each other and shit. And now you got the original, you know, King Pendragon who battles this mage and takes him out and everything, and he ends up getting murdered, and in the sword, his sword Excalibur, or get put in the stone. And then we jump forward a couple years later, and now we have Arthur, who's pretty much a nobody, you know, but he's a smart, cool ass nobody. England's been run by a new king, and now he's like, yeah, this sword and stone, we gotta pull it out. I gotta find the guy who could pull it out. And of course, long we have it, Arthur pulls it out, and now he's got the sword, and now he's got to pretty much take out an asshole Jude Law in order to take back his kingdom and be King Arthur. That's your movie. For the movie, I gotta praise the dialogue of this movie, because every time characters, more specifically Arthur, when he had a plan or something and he just was conveying it to his team or telling a story to another character, it was engaging, it was very fast paced, it was just like, I'm holding on to everything, just how it's all done. It was really good. And action in the movie, while not a lot of it is sprinkled through it, the action is enjoyable to watch, but you have to know what you're going into, because a lot of the action scenes in the movie are either montage or just really done in that fast Matrix 2000 kind of way. The only cons I guess about the movie, the fact that, like I said, it's pretty predictable, because you know the story of King Arthur. You've seen it done so many times in cinema, so you just know what you're getting into. So you kind of gotta want to go into this movie seeing like, okay, I know the story, but I want to see it done better. And Guy Richie does that. And the movie's only 2 hours or 6 minutes long, and it doesn't really feel like a long movie, but there's like one pocket a little towards the end of the movie that I was just like, this movie's kind of dragging on. Can we just get to the point of what we're getting to? Let's get to the end of the movie. Let's get to the final action scene with Arthur and Jude Law. Let's get to that. And the day I had a great time with King Arthur. I went to the movie thinking like, okay, it's just gonna be, you know, typical Thursday screening. It's not gonna be that good. I'll just probably see it and just skate right through it. But I walked out of it just like, you know what, that was good. And I think they're going for a cinematic universe with this King Arthur movie, because it's gonna be one of those movies that come out, you're gonna be like, wow, surprisingly that was good. There should be a sequel. Like, see what? It's one of those surprise hits. You're like, I'm glad it didn't suck. That's the best way to sum up this movie. Surprised it didn't suck. Now, with that being said, I'm going to say that King Arthur and the Legend of the Sword is indeed an 8 out of 10, which is worth seeing at full admission. As always, guys, subscribe. Until next time.
Here they come, yo.